credentials, and then my ID. This is my presentation I'm doing on Untold Black History, featuring the Moors and the Black Wall Street. The Moors are a civilization of indigenous Africans who conquered Spain under the Visigoths, which was at the time called the Iberian Peninsula. A quote in Edward Scobie, The Moors and Portugal Global Expansion, in the Global Age of the Moor, it explains, the reins of their horses were as fire, their faces black as pitch, their eyes shone like burning candles, their horses were swift as leopards, and their riders fiercer than a wolf and a shepherd at night. The noble Goths, the German rulers of Spain at the time, were broken in an hour, quicker than a tongue can tell. Meaning that when the Moors came over to conquer Spain in 1717, they came so fierce and so fast that the German people who was occupying Spain at the time had no chance of defeating them. Well, the Moors ruled Spain for 800 years. They introduced scientific techniques to Europe, such as the astrodable, and that's the astrodable. That's a device for measuring the position of the stars and planets. They also attributed to the scientific progress in astronomy, chemistry, physics, mathematics, geography, and philosophy. This all flourished in after the Moors took over Spain. Alright. Basil Davidson, one of the most noted historians, recognized and declared that there were no lands at that time. This was during the 18th century. More admired by its neighbors, are more comfortable to live in than a rich African civilization, which took shape in Spain. The Moors introduced many new crops, including the orange, lemon, peach, apricot, fig, sugarcane, dates, ginger, and pomegranate, as well as saffron, cotton, silk, and rice, all which remain Spain's main products today. And it was through Africa that that new knowledge of China, India, and Arabia reached Europe. So without the Moors, China and India and Arabia wouldn't have been able to conversate or known about one another. The Moors also brought the compass from China into Europe. Alright, here comes some of the pictures of the Moors. We're going to go to the video real quick.
The slave trade started, they tried to objectify. The term Moor started to become interchangeable with the term black because it was basically the same thing. But when the slave trade started, they tried to objectify black people, Moorish people. So they would use the term interchangeably and they would just switch on to calling people black. But if you look at a lot of old documents, there's even slave ships called Blackamoor. If you look at slave records, there was even a boxer out of Virginia who was very popular in the early 1800s named Tom Molyneux, and his nickname was the Moor. So that name was definitely used interchangeably with black or Negro at that time.
Moor means black, like Negro, Ethiopian. Moor means black. Moor is not a people. Moor is a color. And they have taken this word Moor and they have associated Moor with Muslim. There were Moors that weren't Muslim. Moor means black. There were Christian Moors. There were Moors that practiced a traditional African faith system. So that Moor means black, simple.
When the Moors went into Europe, they changed the appearance of the population. Do you see? So you have Italians, Spaniards being darker than the Scandinavians. A Scandinavian person told me that they never considered the Italians or Jewish people to be white. Do you see? Because the lighter people are further north.
When I went to Europe, I would always look at pictures and I would always see a Moor, and sometimes I would see like a skull and bones. And
All right. Also, next, I'll talk about the Black Wall Street. The Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, housed one of the most successful black economies in American history. The area is now commonly referred to as the Black Wall Street. Most of the businesses and names were burned down in the Tulsa race riot of 1921. The dollar that circulated through Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, that circulated 36 to 100 times in this tight-knit community. According to sfbayview.com, a single dollar might have stayed in Tulsa for almost a year before leaving the black community. Compared to modern times, a dollar can circulate in Asian communities for a month, Jewish communities for 20 days, and white communities for 17. But it leaves the modern day black community in 6 hours, according to reports from the NAACP. Now, any time when the entire state of Oklahoma had only 2 airports, six black families owned their own planes. The average income for a black family was well over what minimum wage is today. Dr. Simon Berry, who owned the bus system in Tulsa, recalls in 1910 his average income was around $5.